delicious every day. But no, I get a lot of pressure from my parents. They want me married off. They're worried about me. And so my mom, it's seriously, if you go check her out on Facebook, it's listed under her hobbies. Get Tyler married. She's always telling me, she's like, your brother Tanner got married at age 22. What's wrong with you? I'm like, okay, Mom, I'm not Tanner. So she's always on the lookout. She's on the prowl for my future wife. And so she came home from college. She goes to college, finishing up school. And she comes home, she grabs me by the arm, she goes, I met her today, Tyler. I'm like, met who, Mom? My future daughter-in-law. I'm like, Mom, Tanner's already married. She's like, I know, that's why she's gonna have to settle for you. She's a sweet spirit though, you'll like her. A stalwart young lass. Stalwart? Doesn't every lady want to be described as stalwart? It's like the word portly. I find the word portly can only be used with lass, lad, or bloke. You can't go, he's a portly dude. He's a portly bloke. It works. Incorrect usage of that word sounds ridiculous. That's just my opinion. Run with it. So my parents are always looking. Hold on. I have to actually use this if I bring it up here. Logan got it for me. Thank you, Logan. So my parents are always trying to set me up, always looking for their future daughter-in-law. And so I got set up on this date. And we go to dinner, and let me just talk about getting set up first off. It's amazing, it's a lot of fun going on these blind dates. Basically what happens when you get set on a blind date is that your friends and family have decided that there's no hope for you. They're like, we have no trust in you ever finding someone. We have found someone who we deem appropriate. Don't blow this. It's like when they would walk me intentionally in Little League because they know I sucked. Bless his heart for coming. His mom made him do it. So I got set up on this date. So me and this girl, we go out to dinner. And we're asking the usual questions, you know, where are you from? Are you in school right now? Where do you work? Are you afraid of commitment? Just the usual questions. My first dates are amazing. And we start to get into each other's interests. Like, I'm really starting to get to know this girl. And it turns out I was on a date with a reader. She's like, so do you like to read? And I'm like, listen, I'm lucky the menu has pictures, okay? Last book I read, it was about 300 pages, and afterwards my wrist was tired from all the coloring, so. She goes, well, what about The Lord of the Rings? Did you read that book? It was a really good one. I'm like, nah, I saw the movie. She's like, what about Harry Potter? Those books are iconic. Tell me you read that one. I'm like, I saw most of the movies. She's like, well, what about the Da Vinci Code? That was a little bit controversial. Did you read that one? I'm like, they made a book out of that? The things people do for money, I had no idea. I mean, is it just me? I mean, I figure if a book's good enough to be read, it's gonna be turned into a movie, saving me time and effort. So, I'm still waiting for the rest of the Book of Mormon movies. I hear it's a pretty good book. It's got a cool ending, a little gory, maybe rated R, not sure where they're going with that one. So we get through all that, and you know, we gotta continue conversation on this awkwardness, which we were calling a date. And so she asked me, she's like, so what have you thought about names that you want to name your children? I'm like, I'm a guy, I don't think about that stuff. And so I just started throwing out names. I'm like, Brian. And she's like, no, that's too common. I'm like, well, Jim. She goes, no, that's too common too, I don't like that. I'm like, what about Zephyr? She goes, no, that's too weird. And this is when I realized I was no longer naming children for names for my children. I was giving names for our children at that point, as she slowly rejected them all. So I threw out a name. I thought it was a pretty good name. It was well known, but not too common. It's a hearty European name. And she looked at me like I had just started swearing at her and cursing her name, making fun of her parents. I mean, she looked at me like I was the devil himself. And I don't know what the big deal with. I thought Adolf is a fine name for a young boy, especially a portly chap. I don't get it. Just because Hitler goes all crazy, we kill off the whole name Adolf. I haven't seen a name killed that fast since Lucifer. So you don't meet a lot of Lucifers or Adolfs in the world today. You don't see anyone driving white Ford Broncos anymore either. So it's true. Dodge Stratus, they all get killed off. So yeah. So she's like, I'm not going to name my kid Adolf. That is just wrong. It's not going to happen. That's inappropriate. I was like, fine, he can go by his middle name, Osama. It works. It'll be unique. Everyone in Utah names him out of the Bible anyway, so it sounds like it's out of there. I just spilled water on the stool. Sorry, John. My friend John, I stole the stool from his house. Thanks, John. You're not John. Oh, there you are. Did you move over there so you can sneak out? You did. He was sitting in the middle and you're slime. Did your brother already leave too? Oh gosh. Gotta put it on YouTube. So, where was I? Comedians drink water when they don't know what they're supposed to do next, so they think. So, blind dates are great and all. But one of the most embarrassing things, speed dating. Has anyone been to speed dating? Yeah, okay, a couple people from my ward, yeah. There's speed dating. We did it as an activity. What's speed dating? A rejection once a week isn't good enough. I need it every 2 minutes from multiple people. And what's wonderful about speed dating, you sit there and you're like, well, I like long walks on the beach. Oh, no? Oh, okay, I'll move on. I like poetry. No, okay. I want to name my kid Adolf. No, I'll take a hike over here. Thank you. And what I love about speed dating is you get to see who they choose instead of you. See them walking. There goes my future wife with her new boyfriend. He's taller, darker, more handsome. Probably not afraid of commitment. Now I know what it feels like to be that ugly puppy in the pet store, the one that no one wants. Watching everyone pick other puppies, curling up to my glass wall of comfort. He doesn't know he's ugly. There's a few jokes in my act, the moms of the audience are just like shuddering. My kid's beautiful. He's the most popular kid in school. That's what my mom tells me, so I know how it goes. I'm bald. I don't like when people laugh at that, but I like the applause. Thanks everyone, even I needed that. Helps my self-esteem out. So, yeah, dating. Where was I going with that? Does anyone remember? I just talked about speed dating. Now I'm lost. John, where was I at? Puppies. Oh, we were talking about puppies. My mom made us get rid of our puppy. He pooped everywhere. We named him Beldar the Flatulent. Turns out it was a prophetic name. True story. John, do you remember that? We picked him up on a camp out. We just found him and took him home. Mom was so angry. He walked in, just peed all over the carpets. It was great. So, yeah. Dating, though. What I find about dating, some people actually like dating. They like being able to meet different people, go on all these different dates, and they're like, you know what, I don't need commitment, I don't need all that. I'm just here to have fun, man. I'm just here to have fun. I think that's bogus. See, for me, dating is like appetizers and marriage is the meal. We all sit down at the table at Applebee's, we're all happy, the waitress brings out all our food, nachos and onion rings are all going around. And we're sharing, you try this. The carousel's going around and we're all getting a bite of something new every time. And you're all happy. And then the waitress brings out your buddy's steak. I want steak. It's got A1 sauce and everything. And all of a sudden the carousel stops and you're looking down at spinach dip. You want steak, girl. You don't want spinach dip, girl. That's what I've learned.